been working on me, man, since I was born. And don't forget, man. I represent Jesus Christ.
What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Tony. Man, I'm back again. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that comment button for me, y'all. Anyway, speaking about family, you know what? They always had a term that to me was one of the biggest lies that has ever been told. For me, this is one of the biggest lies that has ever been told in the history of mankind. And that is when people say blood is thicker than water. That's a lie. To me, that's the biggest lie. Well, one of the biggest lies that has ever been told since the beginning of time. The beginning of time. You know, hit Cain and Abel, Cain and Abel. Okay. So anyway, people always want to say blood is thicker than water. No. That's a lie, because I've met people in the streets that have no blood ties to me that have treated me better than the people in my family. Straight up. I know people that have been treated better by other people than the people in their so-called family. So no, blood is not thicker than water. When you fall out with somebody in the street, it might be, whatever. But mess around and fall out with a family member, it's like the world is coming to an end. It's like you will go years without talking to them, without having nothing to do with them. But it's family, Mess around and let mama die, daddy die, grandma die, and watch how family go to ripping and tearing at each other about who gonna get what. Who gonna get the dishes? Who gonna get the car? Who gonna get the house? Who gonna get this money, that money? Yeah. You want to see family fall out? Just let somebody that's big up in the family pass away and watch how they go to treating each other. Oh, yeah. At the funeral, after the funeral, before the funeral, all that. But blood's supposed to be thicker than water. Yeah, right. Tell that to somebody else who ain't been through nothing. I'm finna tell you a story about a dude I was locked up with in prison. I ain't gonna say his name. But one day, this gonna be a quick story. One day we was in lockup. And we used to talk through the cell doors all the time, this, that, and the other. He stayed in lockup a whole lot. The administration didn't like him. The police didn't like him. They couldn't stand him. He was good with that pen, though. When I tell you he was good with that ink pen, man, he was putting lawsuits on they behind left and right. They knew to stay out this fool way right here. They knew to stay out his way. Let me tell you something. It ain't nothing the police hate more than a legal eagle. They would rather put up with a militant dude that's causing all type of chaos than put up with a legal eagle, a dude that's gonna put that ink pen on them and get them all the way right, take the money out the state pocket, take the money out they pocket. Oh no, they don't like them. Yeah, they don't like them. And they'll go out their way to try to hurt them, every chance they get. Now, this dude that I was in lockup with, he was one of them, y'all. He was good with that pen, but he stayed into it with the police. He had a thing for messing with the female staff. He was a gunner. I remember I told y'all what a gunner was. And he had a thing about messing with them female staff. And he really had a thing about going to the infirmary, signing up to go to the infirmary, and going into the infirmary and messing with them nurses. He got into it with them nurses left and right. And the police knew when they seen him coming, it was going to be some mess. And it got to the point to where they just started beating him down. They just started beating him up. They just started beating him up. One of these days, they beat him up and he wasn't going for it. He got him just how he wanted. He got him just how he wanted, man. We was on the tier. Well, not on the tier, but, you know, on the lockup tier. We had been talking, and he got into it with the police about a sick call slip. They going back and forth. Whoa, 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 whoa. And so the police telling them, man, you ain't get no sick call slip with your nasty ASS. You don't want to do nothing but go over there and jack your D. You don't want to do it, go over there and jack your D with your freaked out behind. Whoop, 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 whoop. So they throwing words back and forth, back and forth. So now this is what the police love to do when they pissed off at you back there in that lockup. We was in a prison called West Jefferson, which they call Donaldson. Now, in this day and age, ain't no more West Jefferson. It's only Donaldson. But anyway, so now this one police, and this police right here is a police I literally hated. I couldn't stand him. It was two police in that prison that I really wanted to do something to. I couldn't stand them. One of them worked in population, and one of them worked back there in lockup. And this police that was on the tier that day, y'all, he was one of the ones I couldn't stand. So he getting into it with the homie. They going back and forth. Woo, 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 woo. So the police like tell him, yeah, I got something for you. I know what to do for you. I got something for you. And he left. I say about 15 to 30 minutes went by. He come back with 3 more police. We were standing on the door talking. So when the big door downstairs buzz start opening up, I'm like, oh shoot. So the homie say, oh shoot, man. He said cuz he was a crip. He said, yeah, they finna come up here. They finna come up here for me. Watch. I said, probably, you know how that clown. I said the police name. I said, you know how that clown such and such is, man. You know, I can't stand him. And lo and behold, they come right on up the stairs and stopped at the homie cell. So they tell him, cuff up. Cuff up, cuff up. So they pass some words back and forth. They get him. He go on and cuff up. Stick his hands through there. They cuff him up. They take him out the cell. They go in there. They tear his cell up. They go in there and tear his cell up. They had plans on doing some worse than that. Man, y'all get out of here. Y'all get out of here. Go fight. Go fight over there. You and her. Go fight over there by the window. Get away from here. I'm doing a video. Don't sit there and look at me like you're crazy or something. Get your fluffy little fat behind on. There you go. Go back there and see what mama doing. So anyway, they had plans on whooping him. Now, what they supposed to did was whoop him while he was in the cell, if that's what they was going to do. Because at this time, in the blocks, wasn't no cameras. But they cuffed him up. They took him out the cell. And he had been complaining about his feet. You know what I'm saying? He's a diabetic. His feet was real bad. And they had to take him to the infirmary when he requested because his feet was going bad to the point to where, you know, it was almost, they looked like they was going to chop him off or something. So they was under a rule that they had to take him. They didn't want to take him because they knew that he just wanted to get over there around them nurses so he can pull a stunt. Now, where they went wrong at, they took him out the cell. They towed the cell up. They drug him on down the stairs, took him down the stairs, kind of like shaking him around. And they took him to the infirmary. Now, in the infirmary is cameras. You know what I'm saying? I guess they forgot. But now he got over there dealing with the nurse. He loved to argue with the nurses all the time. He gonna always start an argument back and forth, back and forth. He went to argue with the nurse to the point to where it almost got physical, but he's still in cuffs. He's still cuffed up with his hands behind him. And I guess the police couldn't take it no more. They got pissed off about the words. and they jumped on him. They jumped on him. Roughed him up pretty good, too. He took it in stride, y'all. He took it in stride. When they brought him back to the block, put him back in the cell, he told me about it. He was like, cuz, man, they jumped on me. They whoop whoop did this and that, this, that, that's that. I'm like, what? He like, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He said, I got him. I got him. He said, man, I'm finna put this pen on they ASS. I'm finna put this pen on they ASS. I said, okay. Now, quite really in my mind, I'm thinking it wasn't gonna come to nothing. He subpoenaed the cameras. They couldn't wipe them because that would have got him in trouble. It's on there. He subpoenaed the cameras. He got all the footage. He knew how to. I think not a class action, but I forgot what he called it, where he writing up everybody involved, and he somehow, some way he could bring the warden into it. I don't know how he did it, but the institution, the warden, all that. He trying to get money out of all their pockets. Boom. He put the lawsuit in. Eventually, as time went on, he started fighting the case, going back and forth to court or whatever. He beat the lawsuit. He won it. He won the lawsuit. We was back there in lockup for a minute. He won the lawsuit right before I left. I ended up getting transferred. He won the lawsuit. Now let me tell you about family, y'all. Back to, we going back to this blood thicker than water family situation. He won $65,000 from his lawsuit. When he got his money, he didn't want to keep the money on his books because, the state, they draw interest from your money. He like, no, I don't want the state to get a hot nickel from me. He kept $5,000 and sent $60,000 home to his family. He sent the $60,000 home to his family, y'all. I seen him again years later. So I'm like, dang, big homie, what's up, man? Woo, 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 woo. Matter of fact, when I seen him, I was in Limestone. You know what I'm saying? Right before, maybe about a year before I went home. So he ended up coming up there. So I'm like, dang, what's up, homie, man? Woo, 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 woo. So we go to chop it up, and one day, I tell him, I say, man, hey, man, you remember when we was back there and you won that lawsuit when you hit him, man? Did you win it? You won. I remember you won that. How much you hit him for? He said, man, I popped it for 65 G's. I'm like, what? I said, oh, man, you straight when you get out, because he was on his way for parole, too. I said, homie, you straight when you touch down, huh? He like, no, Tune. I'm like, man, what's up? He said, man, I kept 5 G's. I sent 60 home to my family, homie. He said, man, my family beat me out of all of it. I say, what? He said, man, from my mama on down, all of them. He said they spent all my money up, man. Spent all my money up, his brothers and all that, man. I'm like, what? I said, man. He said, yeah, man, they didn't leave me a hot dime, homie. He said, I'm going home to nothing. I'm going home to start all over. And he out here right today. I talk to him all the time right today. And he doing good for himself too, y'all. But he sent that money home to his family and they spent every dime of it. Didn't save him nothing. He didn't have nothing to show for his money. But that's how family do you. So-called blood thicker than water, huh? That's why I tell you right there. That's the biggest lie ever been told in the history of man to me. Hey, man. Just saying. Tell the people that you love them, man. Tell the people that you love them. And don't forget, man, I'm your partner, man, Big Tony, huh? I represent Jesus Christ, man. I'm out. Peace.